Fahad Al-Mansoor was a man of immense wealth and influence. Yet it wasn't his fortune that defined him. It was his unwavering principles. As one of the most respected figures in his community, Fahad was celebrated not only for his business acumen, but for his strong sense of responsibility towards family and society. Among his family, one relationship stood out: the bond he shared with his younger sister, Layla. Layla was not just his sister. She was his pride and joy. Known for her beauty and intellect, she carried herself with the grace of someone deeply grounded, despite the privileges of their affluent life. Layla's kindness won hearts, and her unwavering moral compass set her apart in a world where appearances often meant more than authenticity. Fahad had always been a protective brother, determined to ensure Layla's happiness and well-being. For him, this meant finding someone who could truly value her for who she was, not for the wealth or status her family name carried. Many suitors had come forward over the years, some heirs to vast empires, others men of royal blood, but none had met the standard Fahad believed was right for her. He wasn't searching for a wealthy match. Fahad wanted a man who embodied honesty, integrity, and respect, qualities that couldn't be bought with gold or influence. For this reason, he had turned down many proposals that seemed perfect on paper. He held on to a deep belief instilled in him by their late father. True wealth lies in character, not coin. Unbeknownst to Fahad, a twist of fate was about to alter the course of their lives. It wouldn't be a prince or a magnate who would eventually capture Layla's heart. It would be someone no one could have expected. A poor, humble man whose values would shine brighter than all the riches in the world. Fahad would soon face a choice that would test not just his values, but also his strength to stand against societal expectations. And in the end, it wouldn't be the weight of gold that mattered, but the weight of a man's character. Ahmed was an ordinary man with an extraordinary heart. A mechanic by profession, he worked tirelessly to make ends meet, not for luxury, but to uphold his principles and care for his family. Despite his humble circumstances, Ahmed had a reputation that set him apart: honest to a fault, kind to those in need, and resilient in the face of life's challenges. One afternoon, as fate would have it, their worlds collided. Layla, out running a simple errand, found herself stranded on a quiet road with a flat tire. Several cars passed by, their drivers unwilling to offer help, until Ahmed appeared. Dressed in grease-stained clothes and riding an old bicycle, he stopped without hesitation. "Do you need help, sister?" he asked, his voice warm and respectful. Layla nodded, surprised by his confidence despite his modest demeanor. Within minutes, Ahmed had fixed the tire, refusing to accept any payment for his efforts. As they spoke briefly, Layla was struck by his sincerity, his simple yet profound wisdom, and the calm dignity with which he carried himself. For Ahmed, it was just another day of helping someone in need, but for Layla, it was a moment that lingered in her thoughts. This man, so unassuming yet so self-assured, had left an impression deeper than any she could explain. In the days that followed, Layla couldn't shake the memory of Ahmed. She admired his humility and found herself drawn to his honesty, a rarity in the circles of wealth and status she was accustomed to. Finally, she summoned the courage to speak with Fahad, her voice steady but filled with emotion as she shared her thoughts. "Brother, I've met someone," she began cautiously. "He's not wealthy, but he has a heart of gold and a character unmatched by anyone I've met." Fahad, ever protective, listened silently, his expression unreadable. When Layla revealed that the man in question was a poor mechanic, his initial reaction was disbelief. How could his sister, born into privilege, choose someone who could offer nothing material? But as Layla spoke with passion and conviction about Ahmed's virtues, his kindness, humility, and the way he treated everyone with equal respect, Fahad began to see past his assumptions. Her words echoed the very values their father had taught them, and for the first time, he hesitated to dismiss the idea outright. Yet, the weight of societal expectations loomed over him. Allowing his sister to marry a poor man would invite judgment and criticism. Still, Fahad couldn't ignore the sincerity in Layla's eyes. Torn between protecting his sister and adhering to the values he held dear, Fahad made a decision. He would meet this man and judge for himself whether Ahmed was truly deserving of Layla's love. Fahad was a man of reason, and before making any decisions, he needed to see Ahmed's character firsthand. Inviting Ahmed to his grand mansion, Fahad presented the meeting as a potential business opportunity. For Ahmed, it was a chance to improve his struggling life. For Fahad, it was a subtle test. As Ahmed entered the palatial estate, he was met with luxury that seemed to belong to a different world from his own. Yet, he carried himself with the same unshaken humility and respect as always. Over the next few days, Fahad placed him in subtle yet telling situations. He watched how Ahmed dealt with arrogance from Fahad's wealthy associates, how he responded to unfair treatment, and whether he would compromise his values under pressure. Ahmed's responses were simple but powerful. When insulted, he remained respectful. When offered an unfairly lucrative business deal, he declined, stating it went against his principles. When given the opportunity to speak, he spoke with clarity and truth, never once attempting to elevate himself with exaggeration or false pride. Fahad was impressed, but not fully convinced. The final test came when Fahad pretended to lose his wallet in front of Ahmed. Finding it later, Ahmed returned it without hesitation, every bill intact. Fahad was silent for a moment before saying, "Thank you, Ahmed. Your actions speak of a man of rare integrity." This simple act confirmed what Layla had already seen in him. After days of observation, Fahad made his decision. Gathering Ahmed and Layla in his study, he began speaking with a calm yet authoritative tone. "Ahmed," he said, "your life and mine are worlds apart. Where I have been surrounded by wealth, you have lived in struggle. But in these past days, you've proven to me that character is not defined by the weight of a coin. You've shown humility, respect, and honesty in ways that many of the wealthiest men in my circle could never dream of." Turning to Layla, Fahad's expression softened. "Sister, I now understand why you see something special in Ahmed. It is not the man's status that matters but his heart, and Ahmed's heart is true." Layla's face lit up with joy, but Ahmed, stunned, could hardly find words. "Sir, I don't know what to say," he stammered. Fahad placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Say that you will honor and cherish my sister for the rest of your life, as I know you will." With that, the announcement was made. Fahad, the Arab millionaire, would give his sister's hand in marriage to a poor mechanic. The news shocked the community, with whispers of disbelief and judgment filling the air. Yet Fahad stood firm, addressing critics with unwavering resolve. A man's worth is not in his wealth, but in his deeds, and Ahmed's deeds make him richer than most of us can claim to be. The announcement of the marriage sent ripples through the community. Many were skeptical, others openly critical. How could one of the most influential families in the region choose a poor mechanic as their son-in-law? But Fahad paid no heed to the gossip. Instead, he focused on ensuring that Layla's wedding would be a celebration of love, values, and unity. On the day of the wedding, the Al-Mansoor estate was adorned with elegant but understated decorations. It wasn't the typical ostentatious display of wealth the community had come to expect from such an event. Fahad wanted the wedding to reflect the virtues that had brought this union together: humility, sincerity, and love. Guests from all walks of life attended. Business tycoons mingled with Ahmed's neighbors and co-workers, an uncommon sight in a society where social classes rarely intertwined. As Layla walked down the aisle, Her face glowed with happiness, a reflection of her faith in the choice she had made. Ahmed stood waiting, nervous yet dignified, dressed in a traditional outfit gifted to him by Fahad. His humble demeanor and genuine smile captured the hearts of even the most skeptical guests. As the vows were exchanged, a silence fell over the crowd, broken only by whispers of admiration for the courage and conviction both Layla and Fahad had displayed. The ceremony ended with applause, and as Ahmed and Layla stood together as husband and wife, it was clear to everyone that this wasn't just a wedding. It was a testament to the power of love and values over wealth and status. As the days turned into weeks, the story of Ahmed and Layla's marriage became a subject of discussion, not just in their community, but far beyond. Many who had doubted the union began to change their perspective, inspired by the harmony and happiness that radiated from the couple. But an unexpected revelation was about to add a final twist to their story. One evening, as Fahad and Ahmed sat together, reminiscing about life, Ahmed casually mentioned a significant act of generosity from his past. Years ago, during a particularly difficult time, he had managed to donate a small but crucial amount to a charity that helps struggling families in his city. As Ahmed described the event, Fahad's expression changed. He leaned forward, realization dawning upon him. "Ahmed," he said slowly, "do you remember the name of the charity you donated to?" Ahmed nodded and said the name. Fahad's eyes widened. "That charity saved my business during a critical period. Without it, I wouldn't be where I am today." Silence hung between them as the truth sank in. Unknowingly, Ahmed's selfless act of generosity had contributed to Fahad's success. Fate, it seemed, had always intended for their paths to cross. With a newfound respect, Fahad said, "Ahmed, you taught me something priceless. True wealth is not counted in bank accounts, but in the lives we touch." The moral of their story became clear. Integrity, kindness, and selflessness are the greatest riches a person can possess. And in the end, those values led to blessings far beyond what anyone could have imagined.